Hello Swatantra TV viewers. I am Mahima, welcoming you to our English bulletin with latest news, updates and analysis. Ahead of 4th June Lok Sabha elections 2024 results, the Election Commission of India on Monday stressed that the entire counting mechanism is robust and the whole process is codified in a manner that there can be no error even as opposition parties raised concerns regarding the counting of votes. Chief Election Commission Rajiv Kumar said, while addressing a media conference, that India created a world record with 64.2 crore voters, including 31.2 crore women, participating in the Lok Sabha elections this year. The counting of votes for the Lok Sabha elections will take place on Tuesday. The counting of votes for the assembly polls in Andhra Pradesh and Odisha and by-elections to assembly constituencies will also be held on the same day. The counting will begin from 8 a.m. General elections were held from 19 April to 1 June 2024 in 7 phases to elect all 543 members of the Lok Sabha. The votes will be counted and the results will be declared tomorrow. The Election Commission said that the counting trends and results will be available on the Election Commission India website at results.eci.gov.in as well as on the Voter Helpline app. The Voter Helpline app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or Apple Play Store. The Commission has also issued a handbook for returning officers and counting agents which is available on its website. The Commission added that the comprehensive instructions for counting arrangements, procedure of counting of votes and storage of EVMs and VVPATs are already available on its website.
This is a historic moment for all of us, for the nation as a whole. 642 ever anywhere in the world in any of the electoral exercise. That's what is the number of voters. And this is just to give you some small statistics. This is 1.5 times of the voters of all G7 countries. US, UK, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Canada, all put together. We are comparing voters, not electors. And it is 2.5 times of the voters of 27 countries in the EU. That has been the incredible power of the voters of India. There are 312 million proud women voters. This is also the highest ever in the world. It is larger than the 2019 elections, both the total and the women voters. So this we feel is the moment that we must cherish, we must celebrate, and we want to give them a standing ovation to all our voters by this. I would ask all of you to join and end. These are all our voters. So we thank you all. We salute all our voters, all our women voters who have really come and voted in this election, including all of you. You have also voted. I know many of you. I personally know the experiences which you have had on the polling station. कोई भी मेजर ब्रांड और कोई भी स्टार्टअप ऐसा नहीं बचा जिसने हमसे आके ना पूछा हो, खुद से ना सपोर्ट किया हो. हमें थोड़ा सा उनको एक रेस्पेक्ट देनी थी बस, जो हमने मीटिंग करके दी. एंड एवरीबडी पार्टिसिपेटेड, एवरीवन पार्टिसिपेटेड. आईपीएल मैचेस, भारत रत्न मिस्टर सचिन तेंदुलकर, 16,000 पेट्रोल पंप्स ऑफ द कंट्री, एयरलाइंस, इंडियन पोस्ट, इंडियन रेलवेज. आपने सबने देखा होगा, किसी भी पेट्रोल पंप पे जाइए, अभी भी सब पे आपको भरा मिले, ऑल फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, ऑल प्रो बोनो. एंड वी थैंक ऑल ऑफ देम. All these are just the pictures of those kind of things. The entire train being posted, the celebrities. Who is not the celebrity who has not worked with us this time pro bono? And we thank all of them, and this shows the layering of the democracy. This shows the strength of the democracy, that people want to participate.
In line with most of the exit poll predictions, bookies in Delhi feel the ruling BJP-led NDA will get more than 340 seats in the Lok Sabha polls, while the India opposition bloc may secure around 200 seats. According to the calculations of bookies and punters in Delhi, the NDA could get between 341 and 343 seats, while the number could be between 198 and 200 for the India bloc. While the BJP may win 310 to 313 seats on its own, The Congress's numbers could be between 57 and 59, the bookies have predicted, according to sources. Of the 7 Lok Sabha seats in Delhi, they have given 1 seat to the India bloc, the source said. The betting market opened 2 weeks ago and bets of crores have been placed on the poll results so far in Delhi NCR, he said, adding that the punters are not only from the capital but also from abroad. The rates for the NDA are low in the betting market as its winning probability is high, the source said, adding that a bet on the India bloc is risky and therefore, the rates for bets on the opposition alliance are high. Congress leader Sonia Gandhi on Monday said her party is very hopeful that the results of the Lok Sabha elections will be totally opposite to what has been shown in the exit polls. Sonia Gandhi made the remarks after attending an event held at the DMK office in Delhi. She paid tributes to DMK stalwart M. Karunanidhi on his 100th birth anniversary. Most exit polls have predicted that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will retain power for a third straight term, with the BJP-led NDA expected to win a big majority in the Lok Sabha polls. While some exit polls have given the NDA more than 400 seats, most have predicted that it will win over 350, which is way above the majority mark of 272 seats needed to form the government. The Congress and other India bloc parties have trashed the exit polls, claiming that these surveys were a work of fantasy and asserting that the opposition alliance will form the next government. Congress leaders have said that the India bloc will win 295 seats and form the government. The Supreme Court on Monday refused to entertain a plea filed by the YSR Congress party challenging the relaxation of postal ballot norms for Andhra Pradesh by the Election Commission. A vacation bench of Justices Arvind Kumar and Sandeep Mehta said that in the facts and circumstances of the cases, the court was not inclined to interfere with 1st June order of the Andhra Pradesh High Court. The party had assailed the order of the High Court by which its petition was dismissed with liberty to raise the contentions through an election petition. The YSR Congress party had challenged the Election Commission's 30th May circular, which relaxed the norms of the attestation of postal ballots for Andhra Pradesh on the grounds that it was discriminatory to the state. Meanwhile, YSRCP General Secretary Sajjala Ramakrishna Reddy lashed out at the TDP chief N. Chandrababu Naidu for undermining the electoral process by manipulating the system. Speaking to media persons at the party headquarters on Monday, Ramakrishna Reddy expressed displeasure over the Election Commission of India's memo on the validity of postal ballots, which said the postal ballots should not be rejected even if they were not stamped by the attesting officer. The Andhra Pradesh Chief Electoral Officer had clarified that the postal ballots having the signature of the attesting officer but not having seal should be considered valid. Ramakrishna Reddy further said the exit polls released by the national media did not reflect the ground reality in Andhra Pradesh. He added that the exit polls would not have given edge to the TDP if it did not join hands with the BJP, he said. A 55-year-old man died after an improvised explosive device, allegedly planted by a member of the banned CPI Maoist, exploded in a forest area of Mulugu district of Telangana on Monday, police said. The man was killed instantaneously when he stepped on the device near Kongal village of Vajidu Mandal of the district, they said. The villager, his son and 3 others were walking in the nearby forest to collect firewood when the explosion took place, a senior police official said. According to police, the Maoists have been planting improvised explosive devices in the areas in which people commute regularly, in order to make their presence felt. On 30th May, a pet dog of another villager died in a similar blast, police said. Separate cases have been registered at Vajidu police station in connection with the two incidents, police added. The Supreme Court on Monday barred YSR Congress Party MLA Pinelli Ramakrishna Reddy, who allegedly smashed an EVM at a polling station, from entering the counting centre of Macherla Assembly constituency on 4 June. A vacation bench of Justices Arvind Kumar and Sandeep Mehta saw the video of 13th May incident and questioned the anticipatory bail granted to Reddy and termed it as a sheer mockery of the justice system. The apex court asked the Andhra Pradesh High Court to decide the petition related to multiple cases lodged against Ramakrishna Reddy in connection with various incidents that day, listed for hearing on 6 June, without being influenced by the interim protection granted to him on 28 May. Ramakrishna Reddy, the ruling YSRCP candidate for the Macherla seat, allegedly barged into the polling station with his supporters and broke VVPAT and EVM machines on the day of the poll on 13 May. The top court was hearing to pleas filed by the TDP polling agent Sheshagiri Rao Namburi seeking cancellation of the interim protection from arrest granted to the MLA. Namburi has claimed that even though there was video evidence, police did not register a case against the legislator but some unknown persons. A CRPF Jawan was on Monday arrested for allegedly molesting two women at the Chitpur area in Kolkata, an officer said. The Jawan, who was returning from election duty in Baruipur in the South 24 Parganas district of West Bengal, reached the Kolkata railway station on Sunday night from where he was scheduled to board a special train, he said. The Jawan on Sunday night allegedly got inside a house adjacent to the station and molested two sisters who were sleeping inside, the officer said. Hearing the screams of the women, locals went to their rescue and managed to grab the CRPF Jawan when he was trying to escape. They then informed the authorities who detained him, the police said. An FIR was lodged at the Chitpur police station by the two sisters on the basis of which the Jawan was arrested, he added. The CRPF had also launched an inquiry. The city police have dropped the names of Union Home Minister Amit Shah and Telangana BJP Chief G. Kishan Reddy from an FIR they filed on a complaint relating to allegedly using minors in a poll campaign in Hyderabad last month. In a complaint to the Telangana Chief Electoral Officer, TPCC Vice President G. Niranjan alleged that on 1 May during a BJP rally from Laldawaja to Sudha Talkies, a few minor children were on the dais with Shah. The CEO forwarded it to the city police for a factual report, resulting in the registration of an FIR against Shah, Reddy, BJP candidate for the Hyderabad Lok Sabha seat K. Madhavilata, legislator T. Raja Singh and BJP leader T. Yaman Singh. However, after due inquiry, it was found that Amit Shah and Kishan Reddy had no role in the incident, a police official said. A charge sheet was filed in a local court last week, the official further said. The involvement of others Amit Shah, Union Home Minister, Kishan Reddy, Union Minister, is not established. The case against the three others will continue under Section 188 of IPC for violation of an order issued by a public servant, the official added. Andhra Pradesh Chief Electoral Officer Mukesh Kumar Meena on Monday said all arrangements have been made for counting of votes on Tuesday and the procedure will begin at 8 a.m. He said the number of counting locations are 33 across the state, in 401 halls which will have 2,443 EVM tables for parliamentary constituencies and 2,446 for assembly constituencies. There are 443 postal ballot tables for parliamentary constituencies and 557 for assembly constituencies. As many 454 candidates contested for the Lok Sabha and 2,387 for the Legislative Assembly, while 3.33 crore voters exercised their franchise on 13th May, including 26.4 lakh voters who were over 85 years of age and persons with disabilities. There were 26.7 lakh service electors and employees of essential services and 4.61 lakh voters on election duty, said Meena. The Election Commission has deployed 119 observers to supervise the counting process and has also allotted a micro-observer for each counting table. In total, 25,209 staff has been deployed for the counting process. The CEO said that in 111 assembly constituencies there will be fewer than 20 rounds of EVM vote counting, in 61 constituencies between 21 and 24 rounds, and in 3 constituencies there will be over 25 rounds. Similarly, 102 assembly constituencies are expected to have up to 2 rounds of postal ballot counting, 48 constituencies up to 3 rounds and 25 constituencies 4 rounds.
పోస్టల్ బ్యాలెట్ కౌంటింగ్ కూడా ఈసారి యాజ్ ఐ సెడ్ పోస్టల్ బ్యాలెట్ కూడా చాలా ఎక్కువ వచ్చినాయి. ఒక టేబుల్లో ఒక రౌండ్లో మనము 500 ఓట్ కౌంట్ చేస్తాము. దాంట్లో పెద్ద ప్రొసీజర్ ఉంటుంది. యూ టు ఓపెన్ ద అవుటర్ కవర్, మళ్ళీ డిక్లరేషన్ చూడాలి. డిక్లరేషన్ కరెక్ట్ అయిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఇన్నర్ కవర్ ఓపెన్ చేయాలి. ఇన్నర్ కవర్ ఓపెన్ చేసిన తర్వాత పోస్టల్ బ్యాట్ యాక్చువల్గా ఇన్నర్ కవర్లో ఉంటుంది. అక్కడ అది వ్యాలిడా కాదా అది చెక్ చేయాలి. సో ప్రొసీజర్ ఎక్కువ ఉంది కాబట్టి 2 to 2.5 hours ఒక రౌండ్కి పడుతుంది. సో దట్ ఈస్ వై 4 rounds కొన్ని 25 అసెంబ్లీ కాన్స్టిట్యున్సీలో 4 rounds పడతాయి. 48 కాన్స్టిట్యున్సీలో 3 రౌండ్, 1 or 2 కాన్స్టిట్యున్సీలో 1 or 2 round, 1 to 2 rounds పడతాయి. నౌ జనరల్గా జస్ట్ ఫర్ ద సేక్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, జనరల్గా ఈవీఎం లెక్క చేసినప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ రౌండ్ 30 minutes అరౌండ్ పడుతుంది. 30, కొన్ని చోట్ల 35 ఫస్ట్ రౌండ్. మళ్ళీ 2-3 rounds తర్వాత అది 15-20 minutes కూడా పూర్తి చేసేస్తారు. సో యావరేజ్గా 20 to 25 minutes పడుతుంది ఈవీఎం రౌండ్కి. కానీ పోస్టల్ బ్యాలెట్ రౌండ్కి 2-2.5, కొన్ని చోట్ల కొద్దిగా ఎక్కువ కూడా ఇట్ మే డిపెండ్ ఫస్ట్ రౌండ్లో. బట్ సెకండ్ థర్డ్ రౌండ్కి ద ఎఫిషియన్సీ ఇంక్రీజెస్.
The Enforcement Directorate has alleged in its supplementary charge sheet filed against BRS leader K. Kavita before a court here that more than 1,100 crore rupees was laundered in the alleged Delhi excise scam. According to the Enforcement Directorate, out of 1,100 crore rupees, Kavita was involved in proceeds of crime worth 292.8 crore rupees. The allegations were made in a supplementary prosecution complaint, Enforcement Directorate's equivalent to a charge sheet, filed before Special Judge Kaveri Beveja, who on Monday extended Kavita's judicial custody till 3rd July. The judge extended the custody after Kavita was produced before the court in pursuance of its earlier order issuing a production warrant against her. The court had issued the warrants after taking cognizance of a charge sheet against the BRS leader in the case on 29th May. The court also granted bail to 3 co-accused persons, such as Prince, Damodar and Arvind Singh. The 3 accused were charge-sheeted without being arrested during investigation by the ED. Kavita, by paying kickback to the government functionaries through their middleman, has participated in the generation of POC of 100 crore rupees, the charge sheet claimed, adding that she then participated in the transfer of this proceeds of crime to the government functionaries.
జై తెలంగాణ, జై భారత్.
After the exit polls predicted the return of the Modi government for the 3rd straight term, benchmarks Sensex and Nifty zoomed more than 3% on Monday, recording their biggest single-day gain in 3 years and closing at lifetime highs. The 30-share BSE Sensex soared by 2,507.47 points or 3.39% to settle at a new closing peak of 76,468.78 points, with 25 of its constituents ending in the green and 5 in the red. During the day, the barometer jumped 2,777.58 points or 3.75% to hit a record intraday peak of 76,738.89. The NSE Nifty climbed 733.20 points or 3.25% to finish at 23,263.90. During the day, it soared 808 points or 3.58% to hit a fresh intraday all-time high of 23,338.70. Among sectors, PSUs, power, utilities, oil, energy, capital goods, and realty indices soared up to 8%. A sharp rally in blue-chip stocks Reliance Industries, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank and State Bank of India propelled the indices to lifetime high levels. Strong GDP data also added to the buoyancy in equity markets. Shares of all Adani Group companies continued their rally on Monday, taking their combined market valuation to 19.42 lakh rupees crore. Adani Power surged nearly 16%, Adani Ports by 10% and flagship Adani Enterprises by over 6%. Foreign institutional investors bought equities worth 1,613.24 crore rupees on Friday, according to exchange data. Gold prices slumped 200 rupees to 72,450 rupees per 10 grams in the national capital on Monday amid fall in precious metal rates in the global markets, according to HDFC Securities. The yellow metal had ended at 72,650 rupees per 10 grams in the previous session. Silver prices also tumbled 800 rupees to 92,900 rupees per kg. In the previous session, it had closed at 93,700 rupees per kg. In the overseas markets, spot gold at COMEX was trading at $2,320 per ounce, down $6 from the previous close. Gold resumed trading on a negative note due to a shift in market sentiment and a decrease in demand. In addition, silver also went lower at $30.19 per ounce. It had settled at $30.37 per ounce in the previous session. Thank you for watching Swatantra TV English Bulletin. For a complete and comprehensive English news bulletin, please do watch Swatantra TV every day. This is Mahima, signing off. Keep watching Swatantra TV.